you can be powerful together. You have to get together, you have to do better than that. I know I've said a lot, even though I really have not said half of what I want to say. But I just wanted to, that's enough of criticism. I do wanted to say, thank a lot of people that, whether they have agreed to speak in a very short notice, and you will get their introductions and their bios, and also Somali businesses that have given a big hand to this organization. Last time, NASWA event, as well as now, and they're always standing with us, and they will continue to stand with us. This room today is about full. Next event, we're going to do this, inshallah, ongoing basis every year, and even more often. We want to have the biggest hotel in the area. We don't want to have a small room, a basement right here. This is what the plan is. So I like to give a very big hand, and I really mean a big hand, to Dia Web and Dia Tech, because they were behind all of this. They were behind all of this. This is Oasis. Oasis is the company I incorporated about 8 years ago, and I run this company. I'm so proud to say I have a lot of help from a lot of people that are here now, and other people, and alhamdulillah, it's going good. So give a hand to Oasis, because it's one of the sponsors. Virginian Home Healthcare have given us a huge hand. So they are great sponsors. We want to thank them very much. NASWA was created by Dia Web, Dia Tech. Beautiful, I like it. So I still do. American School of IT was also part of creation of this social media and the posters and that. Now your social media, because that's what everything's going to happen. One last thing I want to say is the big NASWA Youngsom event that's coming up is inshallah going to be March the 8th. Why we choose March the 8th? It's International Women's Day. We will have a fashion show. So turn up, young ladies. Turn up. That's it. I'm done. All right? Thank you very much.
So next we have Jamaat Abdi. So Jamaat Abdi is currently a senior at George Mason University, studying neuroscience and computational data science, with hopes of pursuing a medical school in future. In 2012, she taught physics and chemistry, the top one of censor at Abarso Tech High School in Abarso, Somaliland. Also, she has worked for the University of Maryland Department of Pre-College Program, tutoring high school seniors for the past 2 summers. She currently working for the top 2 tutoring companies in the DC area. Please welcome
Following my mother's very concise, short speech, I'm going to try and hurry this up a little bit. I know you guys are excited to hear our keynote speakers. As Insaf introduced, my name is Jamaat Abdi. I'm about to receive my BS. I want to get my MD. I might want to get my MBA too in the future. And these are all letters, but they also speak a lot of volumes. And that's kind of like what I want to talk about. So a lot of times when we're asked, who am I? As Somali Americans in this community, we sort of face the confusion in our minds of, are we Somali or are we American? Are we Somali American or American Somali? Which one speaks volumes to us? Which resonates to us more? And although all of these letters, like the MD, the BS, and the DDS, and the MBA, those are really important in this country, and you might not realize that those mere letters put together can change the way a person looks at you. And it's crazy because letters don't mean anything, but they do mean something in this country. But that's another issue. What I want to talk about is the identity crisis that we have here. A lot of people in this country, and I personally myself can say this too, we go about our days, day to day, going to work, going to school, coming back, and continuing that lifestyle. And that lifestyle is dangerous. It might not be, literally dangerous, but metaphorically, complacency is the devil. Just, not worrying about bigger issues that are, happening in our country, happening abroad. A lot of times, we see the media, we feel bad, we do hashtags, hashtag don't shoot, hashtag Black Lives Matter, etc., but, if we just watch the social media and if we just watch the TV and, hope that things are going to get better, things would never get better. Which is why I come to you and I'm introducing to you this initiative that me and my colleagues put together to sort of, battle the media's attacks on us. So we can have a voice, like the NAACP, when the media says young Somalis are part of ISIS or they're terrorists. We can have a voice, a platform where we can come together and attack that. And I think that's a critical issue that a lot of us are sleeping on. Not that we don't care, but we don't have a central location that we can all go to and put our ideas together and say, listen, we are American, we are just as American as every other person in this country. And I think that's extremely important. I really urge you guys to be a part of this movement because a strong community only comes from a strong foundation. If you and I are not supporting each other, I won't get anywhere, you won't get anywhere, etc. Our businesses locally won't get anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, Youngsom was built on 5 principles: leadership, advocacy, mentorship, networking, and entrepreneurship. So those 5 principles, we all talked about and agreed that they are the most important to us. Why? Because a lot of days, college kids are coming out of college. Some of them are jobless, some of them are trying to find jobs, some of them don't know how to go about making a business plan. And a lot of people in our community have those skills. You saw all those businesses and logos and stuff. They have ideas and they have a plan. They've been through it and they can help us and support us by workshops and other events that we want to put together in the future. Bring us together and move us forward. Advocacy, we need a voice. We need ways to start telling the media that, hey, we are relevant, like we are a community. Networking. A lot of Somali businesses, could do so much better if people knew about them. For example, Diatech Web that made us help us make the banner, help us make the logo. It's by my friend Mohammed over there. And you guys most of you guys didn't know that he did that, but now that if anybody needs a website built, if anybody needs a business card or logo, if you're connected with our event, you would know about stuff like that. Of course, leadership. A lot of our young people now, they're lacking the skills they need to say something, to emerge as pioneers of this country, to emerge as innovators of this country, to create something and leave an imprint in this country that will be left for our kids. Because I'm worried about our kids. I'm worried about, the young innocent black men who are being shot when they're screaming that they can't breathe. What if your kid was playing outside at night and he had a toy? Would that be justification to kill him? No, exactly. I'm worried about these judges that are looking at these cases, looking at these cops and, justifying their actions as rape. I mean, we can change the laws by changing the way we think and coming together as a community. So I don't want to take up more of your time, but that's just a little something that we put together. And that's sort of like the moral and the message I want to get about Youngsom. So now I want to give a warm introduction to Hassan Huruse. Hassan Huruse was born and raised in Adagabo, a city in eastern Somalia. He went to high school there and he taught there as well. Then he traveled to Mogadishu, and during his time there, of course, the Civil War started. He came here to the United States, studied at NCCU, North Carolina, and then the prestigious Howard University. He wishes to start a school called the Authentic Somali Academy for Language, an initiative to preserve our beautiful language. Especially with our youth. He now lives in Sterling, Virginia with his wife Zahra, who is a board member and also the vice chairwoman of NASWA. He has 3 beautiful kids and, I'm going to introduce him now so he can share a little bit more about his poems. So Hassan?
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum. When I see many of you sung with the national anthem, Somali national anthem, I have an assumption all of you speaking of Somali. that means mostly I might read with you or recite the poems, or one poem at least, that I take part of it, because it's very hard to translate line by line Somali poem. Before I go with that poem, which is as an adult, I was trying that time. That was when my first son born, and I was trying to give him the little knowledge and the experience that I have the life. That one itself, that poem is informative in my capacity at that time. But before I go that one, I will say a few things for Youngsom and this beautiful, educated, young Somalian is in front of me. The first thing that I want to say is, you need to involve the situation is, and wherever Somalian is involved. Do not try to be a spectator and staying at the side. Don't assume this is not your problem. It's a mother and dad's problem because it's a Somali situations. I know there are reasons, and it could be many things. But for sometimes, I assume maybe dual identity. You are puzzling and try to deal with your duality of identity. Are you a Somali, as Jamal says, or you are American? And I don't see any contradiction. You could be a Somali, at the same time be American. We live in an immigrant nation. There are many communities who keep the culture and the language and try to contribute in America and sharing what they have. So we need to take that initiative. You can do, and you have a capacity, your parents, immigrant parents like me, maybe we cannot done. So you need to share your potential as a Somali and as an American for the community that we live with. The issue going on our United States, our homeland, that we call the US, and the issue going on global. All of those, you have your own part, and you have the part that you can contribute. So I very much encourage you, take the initiative, be active. That's the one thing. The other main thing that I want to touch is, I think in order that you benefit, the only glue, the only bond that can hold to us as a community is the language. If you do not have any ability that you can communicate with your grandma, I am sure she can share with you a lot. But if you assume it, she's another grandma, came somewhere in Somalia, we don't have much commonality, she don't speak the English, she don't go one of those schools that they know, so what am I benefit for? If you have that kind of attitude, especially when you are young, you're missing a lot. So the serious and most important fabric that can keep to us together as a community will be the language. And I encourage you, all of you, like most of the other communities, I sometimes visiting the Iranian community, and I saw they have a school from K to 12 that they keep the culture and the music and the dance and the language. I don't think you get that opportunity, and who not filling that role is the adults, Somali parents who are in here. But you have to show, some of you, you could do a lot today. whatever your immigrant parents are missing or couldn't fulfill their time, you're the one who can fill that gap. That's another point. I don't want to take much time. I will share with you that little poem that I take part of it, which was in 1996. I was in North Carolina. That was the night my son born, and he born in UAE, United Arab Emirates. So as you know, there are so many ideas in here. During that night when I was waiting for the time difference between here to UAE, I was watching the TV and there are issues going on, pro-life and pro-choice and this and that. And I really like it. I wish, that's what I keep on saying, I would prefer if he born here, where I am that time. But when I find out the issue going on, and my son he born in somewhere in an Islamic community, there's no issue whether that child killed their mother's womb or born perfectly. That's not the issue in that UAE. So I say he's the one who's lucky. He's lucky. If no one even debating tonight, he should be, because we are overpopulated, we don't have enough water and oxygen, so how the community in here that we can survive if we are just keep on another new generations keep on come. So if where that kind of feeling or the ideas and it exists, he's lucky if he gone that way. Then I composed that poem. And I will just share with you a few lines. I don't know if it's translating or I have ability to really translate as it is. I was just saying the name I give my son that night was Ayale, which is lucky. And why he's lucky? Because no one debating whether they kill his mother's womb or not. So he's lucky that way. So I said Mahmoud, and his grandmom called him Mahmoud also, Mahmoud. We added that two names together and we call him Mahmoud Ayane. I said Mahmoud Ayalo. Dear Mahmoud Ayane, inankayga uradaan loogu shukriyeyo ubad sidii baa tahay shalayini adduunkee intaanay aragtu ila tegin aan ku akhlaaray. I have to inform you before I go in a long introduction and share with you what I know this world. Kor ahaa ilaahay arrin uu muraadana kun ahaw intuu yiri dabadeed ahaatay. Axal baa la qaadaa, bile iyo ayaamaa ruux lagu afuufaa, ilmagalaha hooyada lagu soo ilaashaa, ilaa aadan dabadii ubad dhalanayaa jiray, ajal iyo wil baa jiray. I'm talking about this line is the way that they become and how there are a people community who believe we came Adam and Eve, and there are those who deny like Charles Darwin and say we come in a similar way, or this line is not what they're talking about. Masinada adniye imaanki ducufiyo dar iblis ku duufsaday aayaadku ma ay surin ku adkaade malalaqin. Wuxuu waaye ururshada wuxuu Darwin aragtii ubucdiisa u dhigay ebishka iyo gorilaan ehelnimo ku raacno ka islanay daayeer. The Charles Darwin said the humanity was evolving, and one of the days we were a Homo sapien and we are brothers and sisters for the ebish and the gorilla. So that Islam is a far away for that. So that itself is lucky if he born among that community who have a faith and the Quran and the Kitab and the prophets and this and that. Some of the lines I keep on jumping from area to area. So I want